Mr. Dettelbach, what were you trying to hide? On the raid on March 19th at Mr. Malinowski's house, disabled the doorbell camera, cut electricity to the house, and you didn't wear body cameras. What were you guys trying to hide?
Mr. Chairman, we're not trying to hide things. In fact,
Sure seems like it.
You
guys cut electricity to the house?
After the...
Oh, that's a question.
I'm trying to answer. Okay, if there's no question, that's fine. I'm sorry.
No, that is a question. Did you?
After the incident, we, along with the Little Rock Police, called for an independent investigation being done by the Arkansas State Police and the local prosecutor.
No,
That's not trying to hide anything.
I asked 3 questions. Why'd you put the tape on the doorbell camera? Why'd you cut the lights? And why didn't you wear the body cams? What are you trying to hide?
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, your home for truth, liberty, and real American values. Today, I'm reacting to one of the most disturbing and telling congressional exchanges I've seen in a long time. We're talking about the ATF's deadly raid on Mr. Malinowski's house in Little Rock, Arkansas. If you haven't seen the hearing, buckle up, because what you're about to hear should make every freedom-loving American furious.
And Mr. Chairman, the reason that we called for the investigation is we're not trying to hide anything. The reason I'm not going to talk about what's going on in that investigation is to respect its independence and out of fairness. There's a reason for the Department of Justice policy that's existed for so many decades about not commenting on pending matters. It's not fair to people, and it risks the perception that people are trying to influence.
How about this one? Why'd you ignore the rules? Because don't the rules say you should only use a no-knock entrance into a property if it's the only way, if it's the absolute best way to do it? I mean, I can read from Ms. Monaco's directive. Limit the circumstances in which agents may seek to enter a dwelling pursuant to a warrant without complying with the knock and announce rule because of the risk posed to both law enforcement and civilians. So you want to limit this. Why'd you guys do it all in 57 seconds?
Respectfully, with respect to what I said before, is that we are not trying to hide anything. An independent agency is investigating it, and we, pursuant to longstanding policy,
Director,
are not going to comment.
The Department of Justice has already told us you guys weren't wearing cameras. I'm just asking why.
For the cameras, our body-worn camera policy, I can talk about that. I think I can answer the question without talking about this case.
You can talk about some things relative to the investigation, but not others. We want all the answers to what's going on here.
I will tell you, with respect to the body-worn camera policy, the Department of Justice announced that policy when it was announced, as we have communicated to your staff and you. It was announced that it would be phased implementation. ATF is implementing that policy. We've implemented it in just under 1/3 of our field divisions. We have not received 3 separate requests for program funding from Congress to do so, but we are still doing it. I watched a hearing a couple of weeks ago where your fellow chairman...
Did the Little Rock police officers who accompanied you on this raid, did they wear body cams?
Again, not commenting on this specific case, but in general, the Department of Justice written policy allows local law enforcement on these types of operations, short-term operations, to follow their own guidelines and policies, if they wish, in body-worn cameras. And what I wanted to say is...
Their policy was to wear them. They weren't wearing them that day. We want to know why. Did you tell them not to wear them?
Mr. Chairman, again, it is simply unfair at this point while there's a pending investigation.
That's a simple question. We just want to know why they weren't following the rules. Their rules say wear body cameras. Your rules say wear body cameras. You weren't wearing body cameras. I go back to my original question. What were you trying to hide? We saw the video where you walked up and you put the tape on the doorbell. We know there were no lights to the foyer area. We have Mrs. Malinowski here who can testify to that. And we know you weren't wearing body cameras. What were you hiding?
Again, Mr. Chairman, we're not hiding anything. And with respect to the body-worn camera policy, the people there...
Why on the 12th did you not go and search the home? You were all circled up, ready to go, but a week before, on the 12th of March, you don't go, you go on the 19th. Why'd you decide not to go on the 12th?
Mr. Chairman, these operations, and by the way, We do about 11,000 operations each year. They're very dangerous operations. ATF doesn't do anything that is not dangerous. Well, it's not quite true, but many of them are very, very dangerous. And those operations are handled by people with decades of law enforcement experience. They plan them, they look at things.
Director, you got to admit, this is a little unique. You got a citizen, the highest paid official in the municipal government, Little Rock, Arkansas, making $260,000 a year, running the airport, no criminal background history, nothing, and he's dead at a pre-dawn raid when it sure looks like you could have served this search warrant when he wasn't there, but you decided not to. You decided to wait till he was home when you did it on March 19th. And as a result, Mr. Malinowski is no longer with us.
Well, first of all, let me just say this, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, any time that there's a loss of life, that is a profound incident. And of course, on behalf of just myself, ATF, and all law enforcement, we are very sorry when those things happen. Also, an agent was shot that day, and I'm sure you are sorry that that occurred also.
Of course, all the more reason to follow the no-knock warrant, not to have a no-knock warrant take place and follow the rules.
Mr. Chairman, as somebody who has worked with law enforcement for decades, there's a great temptation when a horrible incident happens to prejudge. Sometimes people even try to use it to advance agendas. The cops who are in the field and the family
I just want the answers. My time has expired.
On March 19th, federal agents and local police conducted a pre-dawn raid at the home of Mr. Malinowski, an upstanding citizen, highest paid official in the Little Rock municipal government, no criminal history. By the end of that morning, Mr. Malinowski was dead. And when Congressman Jim Jordan grilled the ATF director about what happened, we heard the same old story. Stonewalling, dodging, hiding behind policies, and pending investigations. Let's break down exactly what's so wrong here. First question, what were they trying to hide? Congressman Jordan asked point blank, why did agents disable the doorbell camera with tape? Why did they cut electricity to the house? Why did none of the federal agents wear body cameras? And why did the local police suddenly break their own policy and not wear them either? Folks, these are not minor details. These are the tools that keep law enforcement accountable to we the people. When you deliberately cover cameras, cut power, and hide your own footage, it looks like you're setting up a scenario where there's no record of what really happened. And the ATF director, what does he say? We're not trying to hide anything. We called for an independent investigation. Are you kidding me? You don't get to destroy the evidence and then pat yourself on the back for calling in someone else to investigate. That's not transparency. That's a cover-up. Let's talk about the no-knock warrant. The Department of Justice's own policy is clear. No-knock raids are supposed to be the last resort, only for the most dangerous situations. Yet here, agents storm a peaceful citizen's home at dawn, guns blazing, when they could have served the warrant at any time. This isn't a cartel kingpin. This is a respected local official with no criminal background. Why the need for military-style tactics? This is exactly the kind of government overreach and abuse of power our founders warned us about. When bureaucrats can break down your door at dawn with no warning and then refuse to even explain why, they've forgotten who they serve. Then there's the body cameras. The ATF says, well, we're still rolling out the policy. We don't have funding. Only a third of our field divisions are using them. Let me ask you, if you can fund 11,000 raids a year, you can buy a few GoPros. And the local police? Their own policy says body cameras must be worn on raids. But that morning, they weren't wearing them. No one can or will say why. When Congressman Jordan pressed, did you tell the locals not to wear their body cameras? The director just stammered and hid behind ongoing investigation. Folks, that's not an answer. That's a dodge. And why did they wait until March 19th? The ATF was ready to serve the warrant a week earlier, on March 12th, when Mr. Malinowski wasn't home. But they held off, then hid his house when he was there. Why? The director won't say. He just repeats, our operations are planned by people with decades of experience. Well, sorry, but experience doesn't mean infallibility. And it sure doesn't mean you get a blank check to take innocent lives. Let's be clear. No one is saying law enforcement doesn't have a tough job. We support our brave officers. But the Constitution is not optional. Due process is not optional. Transparency is not optional. When a man can be killed in his own home during a government raid and there's no video, no accountability, and not even a straight answer from the people in charge, that is how police states are born. This is why we fight. This is why we demand answers. Even when the bureaucrats want to hide behind their policies, if you agree that this is unacceptable, that we need accountability, that no American should die in their own home with no answers, hit that like button. Share this video. Call your congressman. Demand body cameras on every raid. Demand transparency. Demand that the Constitution be respected in every operation, every time. We don't work for the government works for U.S. Stay vigilant, stay free, and God bless America.